walls of this cavernous space are made of faceted ruby red crystals. A thin tunnel juts from the back of the cavern and leads into darkness. A stalagmite rises from the floor in the center of the room. A similarly sized stalactite hangs from the ceiling above it. The space in between the two is occupied by a crystalline rod piece pulsing with energy. So you can hear a voice coming down from the tunnels. Upstart insects! Who dares make a racket outside my lair? Who dare interrupts the musings of the Dragon Queen? Before I started playing, I kind of thought it was kind of neat, but not really something that I'd be into. Kind of like a nerd game for mega nerds.
The only impression I guess I had was through the one episode of Gravity Falls where it was a correlation to D&D. But besides that, I never thought of anything out of it. I was just thinking, oh, it's one of those board games that people play.
I found a book called I, Strahd, Memoirs of a Vampire, and it is a book about Strahd, who is a famous D&D character villain. I was like 8, read a book that was clearly for adults, and I was like, wow, this is great.
Back in high school, I had a friend come up to me and say, hey, I've got this D&D campaign. I need another player. Do you want to join? And I said, what is D&D? And he's like, you know, like Dungeons and Dragons.
We can just get it out now.
You can cut plenty of that.
Hi, so today I'm going to be running a segment from the Eye of Vecna, as I previously mentioned. It's called the Dragon Queen's Pride. You are a group of adventurers who has been set to try and recover the 7th part of the Rod of 7 Parts. And so currently, one of you will have the rod. The main function it will do, at least in this adventure, is it'll point you in the direction of the last piece. Who do you want to have the rod?
I usually have hands free because I'm just doing a little jig half
You
the
don't
time.
have the rod?
I'll have a rod.
It is sort of an intricate improv game with rules that hold you accountable.
The quick and dirty of it is a group of people, typically friends, sometimes strangers, get together at a table. One person is dubbed the guy in charge or the dungeon master.
Who goes up, kind of preps for this world, this adventure that you guys are going on, and for the players. What the DM's role is to not only provide a very interesting story, but also to provide something that the players would be intrigued in.
Shrieking gusts of hot airs assault your senses as you step into Avernus. Miasmic clouds roil over a ravaged landscape of broken rocks, bleached bones, and jagged metal. The players take on kind of personas, in a sense.
And then all the different players have characters that they use to explore this world set out before them.
Now that you're all in Avernus, just going from right to left, could you tell me about your character, what they look like, what class?
My character is a tall, elven man with draconic scales upon his skin. He also has 2 curling horns. His name is Oramis. He is a dragon druid.
Alora Starsong is a short elven woman. She has a very large lute, and she does not dress for adventure. She has mage armor, so she is wearing sensible adventuring shoes, but then just way too much jewelry. She kind of clinks everywhere she goes.
Captain Legbite, I be. My hat is huge, my feather even larger. My blade stolen, now made of wood. Maybe it was a kraken, maybe a sea otter. I don't remember, but I will have my revenge.
Alright, so I'll be playing Ivy. She's a half-elf ranger, and yeah, she looks like this.
So I will be playing a tiefling ranger who's got big curling horns, who is then followed from the portal immediately by a very large caribou who seems very devoted to said tiefling and also very ready to fight.
So when you're making a character in D&D, normally you're going to start with what species am I going to play? Am I going to be an elf? Am I going to be a human? Am I going to be a gnome? And then once you've decided that, then you're going to figure out what class you're going to play.
Yes, the martial classes, I like to say, are the ones who don't use spells.
But you're really good at doing other stuff. So that's going to be your fighters. You stab things good. Sometimes you shoot things good with arrows. But you're not out here slinging spells. You're not really doing as much magical stuff. It's very practical things.
Spellcaster classes are usually on, like, mainly wizards and sorcerers are farther away. They're backline fighters. They're the ones who are slinging spells and high damage, hopefully not hitting their own teammates when they're doing that. I'm very guilty of hitting my own teammates with magical spells.
Halfcasters in D&D are sort of like the in-between for your martial and spellcasting classes. These are going to be characters like rangers, paladins, or artificers who use magic to enhance their physical capabilities, but they're not exactly martial classes, and they're not exactly spellcasters either, hence halfcaster.
Sweet perfume and glittering lights chase away all evidence of the war-torn landscape outside. A gilded statue of a roaring dragon presides over the casino lobby. Distantly, you hear clattering coins and patrons laughing. A winged tiefling soars above the spectacle. Patches of multicolored scales freckle her skin. The tiefling kind of comes down to you guys and goes, "Welcome to the casino! Is this your first time, I presume?"
Yes.
Red Belvedere. I am the casino head. My name is Windfall. What brings you all? You're a bunch of overworlders.
I was promised gold.
There's quite a bit of gold to be had here. If you can keep it, of course.
Why wouldn't I keep it?
Will they steal it from me?
Gambling.
We try to play these games called like games of chance where you could gambling. This is a casino. Oh, if it's your first time here, then she produces a large bag and it's full of these small little coins with a dragon claw on them called talons. So is you're just here to gamble and no other reason?
No.
I couldn't think of any.
Tight C, maybe?
Then she flies up. Do you want to know where the rod is pointing you?
Yeah, just pull out the rod and go, where are you craving right now?
So the rod is currently kind of pointing you downwards.
How the hell do we go down?
We must start digging.
Can we ask when? Oh, she's gone.
You can wave her up. She's still flying around.
I'm gonna wave her down.
Yes.
Windfall.
Yes.
Are there more levels? Is there an upstairs or a down?
There is the VIP level.
How do I get there?
So you guys want to become VIPs?
I want to know how and what it entails.
Yeah, are there membership dues?
To become a member of the VIP, you have to earn permission from one of the heads of the various groups. If you can get at least one of their permissions, you'll be able to enter the VIP section. Though, based on your group, she kind of eyes you all. Good luck with that. And then she flies up.
I think some common D&D misconceptions are typically that it's either a game that is really complicated or is way too nerdy, or it's like a weird thing to be into. It's a hobby that's too niche. I think when people think of it, they're typically thinking either like Stranger Things style, where you're it's like, oh, it's a shameful thing. Like, oh, you guys are the weird little nerds.
Another misconception I guess I've also heard was that you have to be good at acting. I've had plenty of friends that have not ever once changed their voice, have not ever once decided to explain how their attack hits or their spell works.
I think a lot of people going into D&D think it's going to be super math heavy, and I think that used to be very true, but 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons is just addition and subtraction. Mechanically very, very simple, especially if you're not DMing. No.
I say we head.
So where are you guys gonna go? Focused.
I say we head to the maze.
Stygian Maze. So as you guys go there, you can see a really fucking weird looking man. He's been posted in the chat. He has spiky hair. He has notably large fangs. You can tell immediately this man is a vampire.
You run the maze.
I am Kaelin Rendenor. I am the master of the Stygian Maze.
I bet that guy, the vampire gross guy, if we impress him, we could maybe get VIP status. But I bet if you don't go in, he wouldn't be very impressed with you.
So if we actually manage to find something, then yeah, that would be impressive.
You need to pick a leader as who will be the person making the navigation rolls.
Was it not? Yeah.
I hear that it is good for a person of wise merits. And I am very wise.
So I will have the group leader make either investigation or survival check.
20.
Oh.
That is exactly the DC.
Wow.
That's great.
Roll.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So the main stats is strength, dexterity, intelligence, wisdom, charisma.
Strength, That is your actual physical strength, your ability to throw things, run long distances, jump, swing a sword.
Dexterity is a little more about finesse, precision.
The checks are more related to like stealth or sleight of hand, and such, and maybe even acrobatics, such like that.
Then it's Constitution. Constitution is kind of like Constitution's the one people usually don't hear of. It's like your physical hardiness, your resistance to poison and disease.
Intelligence is straight just smarts. How good are you at investigating something? How good are you at like remembering things?
Versus wisdom, which is more street smarts. It's the knowing that a tomato is a fruit but not putting it in a fruit salad situation. You know about the world, but you might not know about book smarts.
And charisma, the last one, I always say is like, how well you can persuade people. Can you actually go out there and perform well?
How much you can talk to people, how much you can lie to them. It's very much the you talk to people stat. So, you enter into a room that has a large vase standing in the center. It's just the vase.
Can I attempt to swing at the vase?
You're gonna go up and hit the vase.
Yes, like Link.
Okay, so as you go up, you hit the vase, and a bunch of talons are in there. On the other turn, a surprise round is going to happen. As there are 3 invisible stalkers in this room, so we're gonna roll for initiative.
An initiative is used during combat to determine a turn order.
You roll in game when initiative happens. That means that typically combat or something that is very time sensitive has started, like a ship sinking or the dungeon caving in.
You'll roll a dice, specifically the d20, and then most characters have an addition that they add on to it, and the highest number goes first. So like if someone rolls a 19 and someone rolls a 7, 19 goes first.
So the invisible stalkers will go got a 15, but they're going to have a surprise round against the pirate. You're basically going to be slammed into a whole bunch. Does a 15 hit?
No, it does not.
What's your armor class, just to make this a little easier? All right, so the first one misses both of its attacks. The second one misses both of its attacks. That's a hit. And a miss. Critical fail. You are so lucky.
I duck my hat flies up.
I think he just got hit by something. And then I'm gonna go, and I'm just gonna fairy fire over the base area.
So you can see them now.
Do I have bonus actions? And if I do, what are they? Let's find out together.
Let's find out.
All right.
Can you at home tell us what bonus actions they have available? Starting at combat, we start with the person who rolled the highest in initiative. That character can then take an action and a bonus action.
You can attack somebody, that's an action. You could disengage somebody, that's an action. You could dodge. You can take a help action. All these lovely stuff you can do, and that is an action.
Why bonus actions tend to be things that can be done kind of like in the midst of things. You know, when you're watching a movie and a guy like punches someone, but also is like drinking or like shooting. That's kind of a bonus action. He's using a bonus action to drink vodka or whatever.
Reactions are typically taken not on your turn, so that'd be if you're a fighter and someone runs past you to go to your wizard, you're probably gonna reactively hit them as they go by to try and stop them.
Each action in D&D in-game is probably a couple seconds long at most. But as players, as the people playing the game, combat can sometimes take a while.
All right, so it's gonna die.
Oh.
You insulted him so hard he died.
Oh, poor guy.
Why don't we
Good
check
job,
out the last
team.
of the 5 places just to see what's
Ah, that place, the Cerulean Hall. Blue crystal pillars reach towards this gaming hall ceiling. All is quiet except for the clinking of coins and shuffling of cards. Walking between tables is a lean, blue-scaled devil with dragon wings. You can enter either amateur, intermediate, or expert. The minimum bet is 15.
Maybe go for level 0.
Because you've got to get, what, 370 to get to 1,000?
Yeah.
Or just find somebody who we can impress still.
Yeah.
Speaking of, this blue-winged dragon
yes.
devil, wave him down.
Yeah, she comes over to you. Hello.
Hello, praise be to Tiamat.
Oh, praise be to Tiamat, another fellow believer.
I believe in all dragons.
and they believe in you.
I'm seeking entrance for my compatriots here to the VIP lounge. Might there be some task we could do to impress you, or do you take bribes?
Oh. The only bribe I take is fair competition.
So is it still just 15 talons to play against you at the expert level?
As long as you've beaten someone in the expert level, I will play against you.
Yeah, I guess I would like to compete at the expert level.
So you walk straight into the expert level. This like elderly, decrepit-looking man on a cane comes over and is like, "I'll take you up on that."
God, you seem harder than the other.
But this is the plan. So,
Stick with the plan. Stick with the plan.
and I'll sit down opposite him, I guess.
Yeah, you guys find a dragon chest table.
You know, I'm just gonna I'm giving some background music, the atmosphere. You will have a bardic inspiration, which is a D12.
D12.
That's about as much of an advantage as he has.
So having an awesome pair of dice, very important when you're playing D&D. They come with 7 in a set normally.
The D20 is typically used for most everything. It's the typical dice that you can use to make either actions or reactions. So I would roll the D20 if I wanted to do something, or if something was being afflicted to me.
D12 is really the lonely die, where I think the only weapon that uses it is a great axe, and nothing else.
There are 2 10-sided dice in a standard set of 7. One is the D10, the standard D10. The other one is the percentile dice.
So, like, if there are bigger tables for you to roll on, you get D100. Other than that, doesn't come up that often.
The rest of the dice are both weapon dice, but also sometimes they get to be potion dice.
The 8s are the double pyramid, the bi-pyramid. Those are used for generally your tankier casters or your weaker marshals. They're also pretty common in spells.
The D6 six-sided die, which I think is probably the best one to use. The odds with that are actually better than compared to the other dice to what you can roll.
It's used for a lot of spells, particularly the fire spells, most famously Fireball.
And then you moved on to the smallest one, the D4s, which is a triangle.
It's often used for potions. It's like 2d4 plus whatever is like a standard potion of healing.
That's a 13.
That's good.
I've got no reason to hold on to this. That becomes a 22.
That does not beat his 27.
Ah, darn it.
You want to go again, double or nothing?
Yep.
Am I able to use cutting words on the old man? Because it's ability checks, attack rolls, and saving throws to insult him just a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's like the way I'm gonna do the cutting words is as he starts to do a move, and I'm like, oh no, that's a bad move. You know, they said that move lost the tournament in 12 at the Dragon Chess tournament.
He got a 10.
Okay. Ha! I rolled an 11. And a 1. 14.
You somehow beat this man at Dragon Chess.
I have proved myself against your most formidable of foes.
He was the most formidable.
His age increased his ability.
The amount of people that he's killed after beating them in Dragon Chess.
Do you have a special table? That one's free
I do.
there.
She does have a special table.
I'm totally going to crush this one, guys.
Totally.
Oh, okay. We're starting out strong.
30.
That we're...
But it'll be reduced by a D12 as I do the same thing, and I'm just like, I know you say you're confident, Nissa, but I'm wondering if maybe you're not as confident.
I got to 20?
That means you tie.
Okay.
So the match goes again. You both get your money back.
I just want to cast Detect Magic.
That's what I was gonna do, but that's even better.
Okay. You can detect a amount of divination magic located at her chest,
Is she the cheating one?
as well as a general illusion magic over her.
Tell me more about your illusion-y magics around your chest area. That sounds terrible. But are you wearing an amulet of something? Amulet of dragon chess playing?
Does anyone else want to try looking through if her illusion?
Don't worry, I'm a jack of all trades.
The DC is 20.
Don't worry, I'm a jack of all trades.
Got this.
21.
That is an amulet of my medallion of thoughts.
So Nissa, and I point at the amulet. I'm like, it's a nice amulet to detect thoughts you got there. Find anything interesting from your fair game?
Interesting. So you still want me to give you access to the second floor?
Well, I have to say, you're a pretty good dragon chess player, with or without the amulet. But you want us to beat you
We
fair and
should-
square, or?
We're all very intelligent.
Yes, we are all
it was
very
quite-
intelligent.
That match that we had was one of the most thrilling matches I've had in a long time. It was almost like your mind was unreadable. It's like this blank space almost. You must be an incredibly, you're able to manipulate your mind to such a powerful fortification.
Oh yeah, he meditates.
What? Sorry, I was thinking about.
So she gives you the permission. So you all have now a dragon tattoo on your right hand. So just go to the lobby and you'll find a new door has appeared.
Thank you very much.
I think the hardest part is kind of getting into the headspace of like role play and being around and basically doing that fantasy with other people.
The first one to me is sitting down on each session and put yourself into the setting of the campaign.
I think, personally, if you don't have, like, a taste for improvisation and playing a character, I think that's a lot harder to learn than mechanics are.
It's definitely learning how the classes work is definitely one of the harder parts when you're first being introduced to D&D.
If you try to just read the player's handbook ahead of time and try to learn just by reading, you're going to really struggle. It's definitely the kind of game where playing is the best learning experience possible.
So you enter the Worm Song Cantina.
I'm going to just pull out the rod.
There's an office, which is guarded by 2 pit fiends.
Do we speak to your boss, Pit Fiend? Are you the boss?
No.
Oh.
Windfall's the boss. She'll be with you shortly, probably. The office is empty right now.
Thank you.
I'm gonna search you when you leave.
Okay.
Bookshelves line the walls of this room. A bed draped in plush linens is built into an alcove, across from which is a simple wooden desk covered in papers and books. Mounted on the back wall is the sculpted bust of a smiling red dragon.
Anything pinging on detect magic in here?
Yes. The dragon head is radiating intense illusion magic. There's also a wall in this room that's covered in illusion magic.
Oh.
Can I walk through the
Yes.
wall?
Let's try running right at it.
Would have been embarrassing if the answer was no.
The walls of this cavernous space are made of faceted ruby red crystals. A thin tunnel juts from the back of the cavern and leads into darkness. A stalagmite rises from the floor in the center of the room. A similarly sized stalactite hangs from the ceiling above it. The space in between the two is occupied by a crystalline rod piece pulsing with energy. So you can hear a voice coming down from the tunnels. Upstart insects! Who dares make a racket outside my lair? Who dare interrupts the musings of the Dragon Queen?
Wait, the real Dragon Queen? Lady
Yes.
Tiamat the Scaled, I bow.
Explain your insolence.
We come, my lady, seeking part of a rod. To complete it, and I owe you deference and respect and give you the truth here and now.
You want the rod pieces so you can stop Vecna from eating the entire
We are
world.
stopping Vecna because he's a no-good false god, not a true one like yourself.
And if Vecna has his way, he's going to destroy the whole universe, basically. And you know what? You live in this universe. You're one of us here in it. So really, we're trying to make sure that we save you, too. All your glory.
Take it and leave.
Oh, thank
Yes, my
you.
lady.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I don't even have to, like... push
As
it
a
up, but-
person who helped create the material plane, Tiamat does not want it to be destroyed. So you guys get the rod piece, and you complete the rod. And that's it. Session over.
I didn't even have to fight God. I think if someone wanted to play the game, I would tell them, and maybe they weren't sure, and be like, just try it. The worst thing that happens when you try something is maybe you don't like it, but then you discover something, or you discover that you really enjoy it.
Sit down and play, or ask a friend. Because like I introduced my partner, even the DM that I have, I was the one who brought him into D&D Club. So it's just, if someone wants to join D&D, ask. They're usually very open to bringing new people into the fold.
Definitely play it with close friends. it's just a more fun time when you have people that you've at least hanged out with a couple of times.
It's such a wonderful game, and I think everyone should at least try it once, because I think people often get scared of a role-playing aspect, and they think they're very self-conscious, they're afraid to be goofy and let themselves act. You can have so much fun if you let yourself sort of give in to the whimsy and kind of be like a kid, let yourself play as an adult.
The Stygian maze could be good for people who are good at navigating.
I was also looking at the maze.
Has it amazed you?
It has amazed me. Anyone be able to see invisible people? I cannot.
You know all the skills I just happen to have.
That is good.
With my elfy eyes.
I'm lucky I can see visible people with my eyes. What were these things called again?
Invisible stalkers.
Invisible stalkers.
Class is ending.
I'm glad that class could find
I'm already stabbing eyes.
Class is ending.
Canonically, everyone's character is free.
Yeah, it's just like
There's like a pause in the maze.
So are you gonna put up art of the monsters in the film so people know what they're looking at? Cool.
Well, it's invisible, so.
Well, there is art for the invisible stalker. I'm trying my best.
In the second edition monster manual,
Oh,
the art of the invisible stalker is a blank square.
yeah.
Okay, sidebar. Hello. She likes fair game. Should we just go full in fair? What do we think?
No.
I crouched down to the captain.
Yeah.
I am not good at this game.
I
don't know how I beat that old man.
You said that they're going to search us. Does the caribou count?
Does the caribou have pockets?
Look, if you can find whatever way to shove the seventh broad piece into the caribou.
Don't do that. That sounds very terrible.